Let me ask you something. When was the last time you cleaned your mattress? Actually, scratch that. Have you ever cleaned your mattress? And if you're like me, the answer is no. And to be honest, I never really thought I had to until Jimmy, the sponsor of today's video, reached out to me asking if I'd be interested in reviewing their mattress cleaner. So I figured, well, let's see what all that's about. And boy, am I glad I did, because you cannot imagine what came out of my mattress. Let's find out more. So yes, this video is sponsored by Jimmy, and they did send me the BX7 Pro Max for free. However, this did not impact my review, which remains objective and unbiased, and Jimmy actually did not even see the script prior to shooting this video. So the BX7 Pro Max is a mattress cleaner and claims to remove dust and kill dust mites. And mattresses are a hotspot for dust mites, which can live there, and alongside the dust can trigger asthma or other respiratory allergies. So the BX7 Pro Max tackles dust and dust mites on three different fronts. The first one is a tapping brush, which agitates the mattress or the upholstery, and combined with a powerful suction motor, sucks up all the dust and the dust mites. The second front is with heat. It has a graphene heating element, but also blows out hot air to kill dust mites. And the third front is with UV light. Now, these are all bold claims, and to be very honest, I was a bit skeptical, at least at the heat and UV bit. And while I can test a powerful suction motor, I can't really test if the UV and the heat are actually killing dust mites, at least without access to the lab. So instead, I relied on doing some research, and here's what I found. Dust mites can indeed be killed with heat, and they require 149 degrees Fahrenheit or 65 degrees Celsius to kill them. Bacteria can also be killed with heat. Typically, they require 140 Fahrenheit or around 60 degrees Celsius, with some more resistant strains needing about 70 degrees Celsius or around 158 degrees Fahrenheit. What I also found out is that UV light also kills both dust mites and bacteria by disrupting their DNA, but the UV light needs to have a wavelength somewhere between 260 and 265 nanometers. Well, it turns out the BX7 Pro Max does exactly that. The heat it gives out is 65 degrees Celsius heat or 149 degree Fahrenheit, which is exactly what's needed to kill dust mites. And I actually tested that with an infrared thermometer, so I didn't really rely on their marketing claims. And as you can see, I read 65 degrees and going all the way up to 70 degrees Celsius. And their UV light is at 265 nanometers, which is exactly within the range that is required to kill dust mites. Now, for the UV light bit, I don't have any means to test those claims. I just have to trust that it actually is at 265 nanometers, which is exactly the wavelength that is needed to kill dust mites. So while I could not test if the UV light and the heat are actually killing dust mites, what I found in my research and looking at the specs of the BX7 Pro Max was reassuring. What I can test, however, as I said, is the suction. So that's what I did. I stripped my mattress and I started going over it with the BX7 Pro Max. And here I have to say there was a very nice feature, which is a dust sensor, which I really didn't think is something important. Turns out it is. So after a few passes of the BX7 Pro Max, I thought that is enough. But then I realized the dust sensor kept showing the red color, which meant there was more dust. And the reason I love that feature is because without the dust sensor, there would have been no way for me to know that I still need to do more passes. After a couple of passes, I would have assumed the dust is all gone, as obviously there's no way to see the dust. So relying on that sensor, I kept going over the mattress multiple times until I got solid blue all over, which meant there was no more dust coming out. And look what came out of my mattress. I really could not believe my eyes. I was sleeping all this time on all this dust. So learning that apparently there's that much dust trapped in my mattress, I figured the couch probably has a ton of dust trapped as well. So then I did the couch and the pillows, and again, I was surprised as to what came out of it. All that dust was trapped in my couch. The BX7 Pro Max is very simple to use. It has an on-off button and a mode button. And here you can choose between tapping only, which is the vacuum only, or heat and UV only, or both at the same time, which is obviously what I would recommend. Tackling all that dust and dust mites on these three fronts: vacuum, heat, and UV. Now, UV light, and especially if that wavelength, can be potentially harmful to us humans. And this is where the BX7 Pro Max has another nice feature. As soon as you lift off the vacuum, it automatically cuts off the power to the UV light. So the UV light is only activated when you're actually vacuuming any surface. And this is done by these two feet over here that depress as soon as you lift it off and turn off the UV lamp. And the vacuum also has dual thermal filtration, which is nice to have. That means whatever you're vacuuming is not being dispersed again into the air that you are breathing. And then once you're done vacuuming, emptying the dustbin is very easy. You just remove the dustbin, twist to open, and then empty all the junk that you just sucked out. So here are my thoughts on the BX7 Pro Max. As I said in my introduction, I never thought of vacuuming my mattress, but I'm glad I did, looking at all that dust that came out of my mattress and whatever else was in it as well. And while again, I cannot test claims of the UV light and the heat actually killing dust mites, I am somewhat reassured by my research that the specific wavelength and temperature needed to kill dust mites is what the BX7 Pro Max has. There might be some concerns about how deep that temperature and UV light can penetrate in your mattress, and also exposure time. But if you have fears of having dust mites in your mattress, well, I would recommend spending more time than vacuuming, allowing more exposure of that UV and heat, and allowing deeper penetration as well. And the last bit of reassurance in the absence of my ability to actually test these claims is that this product actually got the Allergy UK certification. And I looked into Allergy UK. It's an independent national charity that is dedicated to supporting people with allergies, and their certification or seal of approval means that this product has been independently tested and proven to reduce or eliminate allergens. So that's it for me. Thanks for watching. I'll put product links in the description for the BX7 Pro Max. These are affiliate links, so if you do decide to purchase, I may earn some commission on some purchases at no extra cost to you, but this will greatly help support the channel. As always, if you liked the video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel, as this encourages me to continue producing content. Until next time, cheers.